Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Bio Talk channel. I'm Anna. I'm so glad you're here today because we're going to dive into a topic that many of you have asked about. It's something that can really change your English learning journey for the better. We're talking about how to stop thinking, start talking. Yes, you heard that right. This is about moving past that moment of hesitation and just letting the words flow. In our last session, we talked about how speaking English is a lot like building muscle memory. Your mouth and your brain need to get used to forming new sounds and connecting them with ideas. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Think about it. When you learn to ride a bike, you don't just read a book about it, right? You get on the bike, you fall, you try again, and slowly, your body learns the balance. It's the same with playing a musical instrument. You don't just understand the notes. You practice the scales, your fingers learn where to go, and the sounds come out more smoothly over time. Your body and mind need to get used to these movements and sounds. But there's a big hurdle many of us face before we even get to that muscle memory stage: the fear of speaking. We think too much. We worry about making mistakes. We worry about sounding silly. And because of this, we stop ourselves from even trying. Today, we're going to break down this barrier. We'll explore practical ways to overcome that fear and truly start talking. So let's jump right in. Our first major point, and perhaps the most important, is to overcome the fear of making mistakes. This fear is completely normal. Almost every language learner experiences it. We often aim for perfection, especially in academic settings, and we see mistakes as failures. But in language learning, mistakes are not failures. They are steps on the path to success. Think about a child learning their first language. Do they speak perfectly from day one? No, of course not. They make many mistakes. They say goed instead of went or foots instead of feet. But their parents don't correct every single word. They understand the child, they respond, and slowly, naturally, the child learns the correct forms. Why should learning a second language be any different? Many times, our fear comes from worrying about what others will think. We imagine people laughing at us or judging our English skills. But I want you to remember something very important. Most people, especially native English speakers, are happy that you are trying. They admire your effort. They understand that learning a new language is hard work. They are usually more interested in understanding your message than in finding your grammar errors. So, how do we overcome this fear? First, change your mindset. See mistakes as valuable learning tools. Every time you make a mistake, it's an opportunity to learn something new. It shows you where you need to improve. It's like a compass guiding you. Without mistakes, you wouldn't know which direction to go. Second, start small. Don't try to give a presentation to a large group on your first day of speaking practice. Begin by talking to yourself or with a trusted friend. The more you speak, even if it's just a few words, the more comfortable you will become. Each small step builds confidence. Remember, the goal is progress, not perfection. Let's move to our second point. Focus on communication, not perfection. This idea goes hand in hand with overcoming the fear of mistakes. The main reason we have language is to communicate. It's to share ideas, feelings, and information with other people. If you can get your message across, even with some errors, you are successfully using the language. Sometimes, learners spend too much time worrying about perfect grammar or the exact right vocabulary word. Think about how people communicate in real life. Even native speakers make small mistakes sometimes or use informal grammar. They might pause or use filler words like or like. Communication isn't always polished and perfect. It's often messy, but it works because both speakers are trying to understand each other. So, how do you focus on communication? First, aim for clarity. Use simple sentences. Don't try to use very complex grammar or vocabulary if you're not confident. A short, clear sentence is much better than a long, confusing one. For example, instead of saying, "It would be greatly appreciated if you could provide the item which I requested," you can simply say, "Please give me the item I asked for." Both get the message across, but one is much simpler. Second, use nonverbal communication. Gestures, facial expressions, and even pointing can help make your message clear. If you're struggling to find a word, Use a gesture. Your listener will usually understand the context. This reduces the pressure on you to find the perfect word and allows you to keep the conversation flowing. Remember, if someone understands you, you have succeeded. Moving on to our third point, practice regularly and consistently. This is where the muscle memory concept really comes into play. Speaking English is a skill, and like any skill, it gets better with consistent practice. It's not about doing one long, intense practice session once a month. It's about doing small, regular practice sessions every day or almost every day. Imagine trying to get fit by going to the gym for 5 hours, once every 2 weeks. You'd probably feel very tired and sore, and you wouldn't see much progress. But if you go for 30 minutes every day, you'll see amazing results over time. Your body adapts, gets stronger, and the exercise becomes easier. Speaking English works the same way. 10 to 15 minutes of speaking practice every day is far more effective than 2 hours once a week. Why? Because regular practice keeps English fresh in your mind. It builds a habit. It allows your brain and mouth to constantly reinforce those connections we talked about. You don't forget what you learned between sessions. How can you practice consistently? First, create a routine. Pick a specific time of day when you will practice speaking. Maybe it's in the morning while you drink your coffee, or during your commute, or before bed. Make it a non-negotiable part of your day, just like brushing your teeth. Second, vary your practice. One day you might talk to yourself. Another day you might try a language exchange app, and another day you might describe your surroundings in English. The key is to keep speaking, even for a short time, every single day. This consistency builds momentum and confidence, and you'll be amazed at how quickly you see improvements. Our fourth point is about finding speaking opportunities. You might be thinking, but I don't have anyone to talk to in English. And that's a common challenge. But the good news is there are many ways to create speaking opportunities, even if you don't live in an English-speaking country. You just need to be creative and proactive. First, language exchange partners. There are many apps and websites specifically designed to connect language learners. Apps like Tandem, HelloTalk, or Conversation Exchange allow you to find native English speakers who want to learn your language. You can chat via text, voice messages, or even video calls. This is a fantastic way to get real-time practice and receive feedback. Second, online communities and groups. Look for English learning groups on Facebook, Reddit, or other social media platforms. Many of these groups organize virtual speaking meetups or have members who are happy to practice with you. You might also find online clubs related to your hobbies where English is spoken. If you love gaming, join an English-speaking guild. If you love cooking, find an English recipe club. Third, if possible, look for local English conversation groups or meetups in your city. Many cities have international communities where people gather to practice languages. Check local community centers, libraries, or university campuses. Even if there are no specific English groups, you might find international groups where English is the common language. And finally, don't forget the power of talking to yourself. This might sound a little strange, but it's incredibly effective. Describe your day in English. Narrate your actions as you do them. I am making coffee now. First, I put water in the kettle. Practice ordering food at an imaginary restaurant. Give a short speech to your reflection in the mirror. This is a low-pressure way to practice forming sentences and speaking English out loud without any fear of judgment. Our fifth point is integrate English into your daily life. This is about making English a natural part of your everyday routine, not just something you study in a textbook or practice for an hour. The more you surround yourself with English, the more quickly you will start to think and speak in English without conscious effort. How can you do this? Start by narrating your life in English. As you walk to work or do chores around the house, talk to yourself about what you're doing. I'm walking to the kitchen. I need to get the milk. The milk is in the fridge. It's cold. This helps you connect English words with real-world objects and actions directly. Another great tip is to label objects around your home with their English names. Write door on a sticky note and put it on your door. Do the same for chair, table, window, and so on. Every time you see the object, say its English name out loud. This simple act builds a strong connection between the object and the English word. You can also practice mini dialogues. Imagine you're at a coffee shop ordering. What would you say? Can I have a latte, please? Imagine you're asking for directions. Excuse me, how do I get to the library? Practice these small, common interactions out loud. This prepares you for real-life situations and helps you feel more confident when they happen. Finally, make your hobbies English-friendly. If you love watching movies, watch them in English. If you love reading, try English books or articles. If you love cooking, find recipes in English. The more you use English in contexts that you enjoy, the less it feels like studying and the more it becomes a natural part of your life. This immersion is key to stopping thinking and starting talking. Our sixth point is a big one. Don't translate in your head. This is a habit many language learners develop, and it can really slow down your speaking. When you translate in your head, you take an idea in your native language, translate it word for word into English, and then try to speak it. This is a very slow process, and it often leads to awkward or incorrect English phrases because different languages have different structures. The goal is to think directly in English. When you see a cup, you shouldn't think tasse if you speak French and then translate to cup. You should see the cup and immediately think cup. This direct connection bypasses the translation step, making your speaking faster and more natural. How do you start thinking in English? It takes practice, but it's very achievable. Start with simple words. When you see an object, just name it in English. Don't think of its name in your native language first. Then, try to describe simple actions. I am eating, she is running. Another exercise is to keep a simple English journal. Write down a few sentences about your day or your thoughts directly in English. Don't worry about perfect grammar at first. Just try to express your ideas. This trains your brain to form thoughts directly in English. You can also play description games with yourself. Look at a picture and describe what you see out loud in English. I see a blue car. There is a tall tree next to it. A dog is walking on the sidewalk. The more you practice this, the more naturally English thoughts will come to your mind, making it easier to speak without hesitation. Our seventh point is to embrace different accents and varieties. English is a global language, spoken by billions of people around the world, not just in the UK or the US. This means there are many different accents and ways of speaking English. Some learners worry too much about having a perfect accent or speaking exactly like a native speaker from a specific region. But in reality, you will encounter many accents. If you only train your ear to one type of accent, you might struggle to understand others. It's much more useful to develop an ear for a variety of English sounds. This prepares you for real-world conversations and makes you a more flexible and confident communicator. Your goal should be to be understood clearly, not to sound exactly like a native speaker. Your unique accent is part of who you are, and it adds to the rich tapestry of global English. Many native speakers find different accents interesting and charming. Don't let the idea of having a non-native accent stop you from speaking. How can you embrace different accents? Listen to podcasts, watch movies, and listen to music from various English-speaking countries. Don't just stick to American or British English. Explore Australian, Canadian, Irish, South African, or even English spoken by non-native speakers. The more exposure you have, the better your listening comprehension will become, and the more confident you'll feel interacting with people from all over the world. This wider exposure also helps you understand that there isn't one correct way to speak English. There are many correct ways, and your way is valuable too, as long as you're clear. So, be brave, listen widely, and speak with confidence in your own voice. Our eighth point is a powerful self-correction tool. Record yourself speaking. This might feel a little uncomfortable at first, but it's one of the most effective ways to improve your spoken English. When you hear yourself speak, you become aware of things you might not notice in the moment. You don't need any special equipment. Your smartphone has a voice recorder app built in. Just press record and start talking. You can describe your day, summarize a video you watched, read a paragraph from a book, or answer some common interview questions. The topic doesn't matter as much as the act of speaking and listening back. What should you listen for when you play back your recording? Don't listen to judge yourself harshly. Listen with a curious and objective ear. First, listen to your pronunciation. Are there any sounds you're struggling with? Is your stress on the right syllables and words? You can compare your pronunciation to a native speaker's recording if you're unsure. Second, notice your fluency and flow. Are you pausing too often? Are your sentences fragmented? Or does your speech flow naturally? Third, pay attention to your grammar and vocabulary usage. Did you use the correct verb tense? Did you choose the most appropriate words? You might even write down your recorded speech and then check it for errors. This self-analysis is incredibly powerful because you're actively engaging with your own language production. It helps you identify your specific weaknesses and then work on them. Make this a regular practice, and you'll see huge improvements. Now for our ninth point, set small, achievable speaking goals. Sometimes the idea of speaking English fluently feels like a huge, impossible goal. This can be discouraging. That's why it's so important to break down that big goal into smaller, manageable steps. These small goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, often called SMART goals. Instead of saying, I want to be fluent, try something like, today, I will speak English for 5 minutes about my morning routine. Or this week, I will ask 3 questions in English to my language exchange partner. Or by the end of the month, I will describe a movie I watched using only English. The beauty of small goals is that they are easy to start and easy to achieve. When you achieve a small goal, you get a boost of confidence and motivation. This positive feeling encourages you to set and achieve the next small goal. This creates a powerful cycle of success and progress. Avoid overwhelming yourself with big, distant goals. Focus on what you can do today or this week. Each tiny step you take towards speaking builds momentum. Think of it like climbing a mountain. You don't jump to the top. You take one step, then another and another. Each small step brings you closer to your ultimate destination. Setting achievable goals makes the journey enjoyable and sustainable. Finally, our 10th and last point, but certainly not the least important, celebrate small wins. Learning a language is a long journey, and it's essential to stay motivated. One of the best ways to do this is to acknowledge and celebrate every little bit of progress you make. Did you successfully order coffee in English today? That's a win. Did you have a 5-minute conversation without stopping to translate? Another win. Did you manage to explain a complex idea using simple English words? Absolutely a win. These moments, no matter how small they seem, are proof that you are improving. Many learners focus only on their mistakes or on how far they still have to go. This can lead to frustration and burnout. Instead, shift your focus. Look back at how far you've come. Recognize your efforts and your successes. Positive reinforcement is incredibly powerful for maintaining motivation. How can you celebrate? It doesn't have to be anything big. Maybe you treat yourself to your favorite snack. Maybe you watch an episode of an English show you enjoy. Or perhaps you simply take a moment to acknowledge your achievement and tell yourself, good job. I did that. Sharing your small wins with a friend or a language partner can also be a great way to celebrate and get encouragement. Remember, every time you speak English, you are making progress. Every sound you make, every word you say, is building that muscle memory and moving you closer to your fluency goals. Don't let the fear of what's ahead overshadow the joy of the journey and the progress you've already made. So, to recap these important points, overcome the fear of making mistakes, focus on communication over perfection, practice regularly and consistently, find speaking opportunities, integrate English into your daily life. Stop translating in your head, embrace different accents, record yourself speaking, set small goals, and finally, celebrate all your small wins. The journey to fluency isn't about avoiding every single mistake. It's about making progress, learning from those mistakes, and building confidence with every word you speak. The sooner you start putting these strategies into practice, the sooner you will break free from overthinking and truly start talking. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect sentence. The best time to start speaking English is right now. Take a deep breath, trust your abilities, and just let the words come out. Even if they're not perfect, they're your words, and they are a sign of your amazing effort and dedication. I encourage you to pick just 1 or 2 of these tips and try them today. Start small, be consistent, and be kind to yourself. You are capable of amazing things, and your voice deserves to be heard in English. Thank you for joining me on English Bio Talk today. I hope this episode inspires you to stop thinking and truly start talking. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more English learning tips, and share your own experiences in the comments below. How do you overcome the fear of speaking? We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep believing in yourself. Goodbye for now. In the intricate dance of existence, every step forward, every stumble, and every moment of reflection contributes to the grand symphony of your life. We are all protagonists in our own epic narratives, faced with trials that test our courage and presented with opportunities that invite us to transcend our perceived limits. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the sheer scale of our aspirations, to be daunted by the chasm between where we are and where we wish to be. Yet, it's precisely within this tension, this yearning for more, that the true engine of human progress resides. Remember that resilience isn't about avoiding the fall, but about the unwavering commitment to rise, time and time again. It's in the quiet moments of perseverance, when the world seems to conspire against you, that your true character is forged. Like a diamond, refined under immense pressure, your spirit gains strength and brilliance through adversity. Don't view challenges as punishments, but as catalysts for growth, as invitations to discover untapped reserves of inner fortitude. Each hurdle cleared, each obstacle overcome, adds another layer of wisdom and confidence to your being. The landscape of personal and professional achievement is rarely a straight line. It's often a labyrinth of twists, turns, and unexpected diversions. Embrace these deviations, for they often lead to unforeseen discoveries and richer experiences. Sometimes, the path you thought was meant for you might lead to a dead end, only to reveal a hidden gate to a more fulfilling journey. Be adaptable, be curious, and be open to reimagining your route when necessary. The ability to pivot, to learn from unexpected outcomes, is a superpower in a rapidly changing world. Cultivate a deep and abiding belief in your own potential. This isn't arrogance, but a foundational understanding of your inherent capacity for creation, innovation, and positive impact. Your mind is a powerful garden. Tend it with thoughts of possibility, plant seeds of ambition, and water them with consistent effort. Guard it against the weeds of self-doubt and negativity, for these can choke the most promising aspirations. What you believe about yourself has a profound influence on what you are capable of achieving. Shift your narrative from limitation to boundless possibility. The power of small, consistent actions cannot be overstated. Grand achievements are rarely born from a single monumental effort, but rather from the relentless accumulation of small, deliberate steps. Think of a sculptor, slowly chipping away at a block of marble, each strike bringing the hidden form closer to revelation. Your daily habits, your consistent dedication to your craft, your unwavering commitment to improvement, these are the chisels that shape your masterpiece. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Instead, create momentum through action, and motivation will follow. In a world that often celebrates speed, remember the profound value of patience. Growth, true and sustainable growth, often takes time. Just as a seed needs time to sprout, a sapling needs time to mature into a mighty tree. Your dreams require nurturing and a patient hand. There will be seasons of rapid progress and seasons of apparent stagnation. Trust the process. Continue to plant, to water, to tend, and eventually, your efforts will bear fruit, often in ways more abundant and beautiful than you could have initially imagined. Embrace the concept of continuous learning. The world is an ever-evolving classroom, and every experience, every interaction, every success, and every failure offers a lesson. Maintain an insatiable curiosity, a thirst for knowledge, and a willingness to challenge your own assumptions. The moment we believe we know it all is the moment we stop growing. Stay humble, stay hungry, and remain a perpetual student of life. The greatest leaders and innovators are those who never cease to learn and adapt. Your relationships are invaluable assets on this journey. Surround yourself with those who uplift you, who challenge you to be better, and who celebrate your successes as their own. Be a source of encouragement and support for others, for in giving, we also receive. The interconnectedness of humanity means that your journey is never truly solitary. Lean on your community, offer your hand to those in need, and foster genuine connections built on respect, empathy, and shared purpose. Together, we are stronger. Don't be afraid to fail. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is an integral part of it. Every mistake is a data point, a valuable piece of feedback that helps you refine your approach. It teaches you what doesn't work, clearing the path for what will. Embrace a growth mindset, viewing setbacks not as personal shortcomings, but as opportunities for iteration and improvement. The path ahead may not always be clear, but your inner compass, fueled by your values and guided by your intuition, will always show you the next right step. Trust yourself, trust the process, and trust in the inherent goodness of the universe to support your noble endeavors. Go forth with an open heart and an unshakable spirit and write the next magnificent chapter of your extraordinary life. The world is ready for your unique brilliance.